You are Locked On Heat Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
There's a party on the Bay in the MIA, or is it the MIA-yo? Because Rick Ross was in the house tonight, right? And how can you not drop a rosé quote or a line in there when the Heat played a big game like they did tonight? They're partying in the MIA. Miami with a huge win, 112-91 over the Chicago Bulls in the play-in game, the 8-9 play-in game in the Eastern Conference, and they move on to face the Boston Celtics in the first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs starting on Sunday. And of course, we will be live. This is your Miami Heat Postcast. We'll be live after every Miami Heat playoff game, however long this run lasts. And after last year and what the Heat have done in the past, you never know, right? My name's Jim Greashopper. Call me Grease. You see it on the screen there. We will be here after every Heat game, after every Marlins game, after every Dolphins game, and after every University of Miami Hurricanes football game. Shout out to my alma mater. All about the U, baby. But tonight, it's all about the Heat in the MIA. Tyler Herro stepping up big, huge in the absence of Jimmy Butler. The shooting guard comes up with a monster game coming off his really an abysmal performance the other night. If you think about it, 9 for 27, made up for it a little bit down the stretch in the game in Philly, but Herro's cold shooting was a big reason why the Miami Heat were unable to win that game the other night, and they weren't just sitting at home waiting for the New York Knicks. Instead, they get the Celtics in the first round, which is interesting, right? Because you get the Lakers, Nuggets out west, you get the Heat and the Celtics in the first round. That was the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals a year ago, right? So you think about that, and that is absolutely crazy that those are your first round series. But the NBA has become a battle of attrition. It's always been a battle of attrition, really. 82-game season. You look at the Sixers, you watch Joel Embiid can't even jump right now, can't even get any lift, laboring, running up and down the court. The Bulls without Zach LaVine, without Patrick Williams, the Heat without Jimmy Butler, without Terry Rozier. It's a battle of attrition. Who's left standing at the end? Who's healthy? And which guys have been playing together? Which team has been playing together the most going down toward the stretch healthy? And you see that with the Lakers right now, balling out. You see that a little bit with the Heat tonight, minus Jimmy Butler. But Tyler Herro almost got himself a triple-double, balled out tonight on Biscayne Bay with 24 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, just missing the triple-double. And I feel like no one was telling him about it because he kept trying to shoot, and he just needed that assist for the triple-double. Talk about stepping up in the absence of your superstar player. Let's be real. Jimmy Butler, regular season, all NBA level-ish, right? But Jimmy Butler in the playoffs, first team all NBA. That's what the Heat were missing tonight without Jimmy B. And what happens? Kevin Love, the grizzled veteran, more white hairs than dark hairs now. And I feel old, man, thinking about Kevin Love back at UCLA with Russell Westbrook. More on UCLA in a minute. But man, oh man, Kevin Love, the white hairs everywhere, 16 points and 7 rebounds in just 12 minutes tonight. And speaking of UCLA, how about the rookie Jaime Jaquez? And this dude balls out with 21 points. They got a lot of effort and hustle from Highsmith, from Wright, from all those guys coming in off that bench. Duncan Robinson had a couple of big threes tonight as well. And really, when you think about this game, guys, the Miami Heat ripped off a 26-2 run in the first quarter and never looked back. They were abysmal in the second quarter. They only scored 13 points, just like the other night in Philly. If they would have kept shooting the ball well, they would have ran away with this game, but they were unable to do it. But they did rip off that 26-2 run in the first half. And, you shoot 46% for the game, shooting a little better from three. And, you had Herro with 24 points and Jaquez with 21, Kevin Love 16, Bam Adebayo 13. A lot of those came late for Miami. And that was the formula tonight. DeMar DeRozan, 22 to lead the Bulls as usual, let the game come to him. Didn't really force it, didn't really get super aggressive when others were struggling. And you think about Kobe. How about Kobe, man? This dude is literally and when you think about Kobe White for North Carolina for the Bulls is he's a mercurial offensive talent, right? He had a career high 40+ a couple of nights ago against Atlanta in that first playing game. And then tonight, it just wasn't going for him. Ended up with 13, but not a good shooting night for him at all. And, Miami, they're tough at home, right? But the defense, the effort, the deflections, the loose balls, the tips, all those things, the offensive rebounds, the steals, All those things were there again from Miami, feeding off the energy of that raucous home crowd in Miami. And they're going to have to play the Celtics without Jimmy Butler. The Celtics are incredibly healthy right now and just absolutely tearing it up. The Heat crowd was chanting, "We want Boston tonight." And that's what they got, is another shot at the Celtics. And I really have to hand it to the Heat tonight. We'll get into some specifics as the show goes on and some other things from the game. But man, the Heat are now 14-9 without Jimmy Butler this season. If you think about that, that's crazy, right? 14-9 without Jimmy B. And that's a big statement, right? And their record with them, they were only like 6 games above 500 with him, 4 games above 500, now 5 games above 500 without him. And that's pretty crazy when you think about it. But again, it's a battle of attrition. These teams are exhausted. And, you get those runs of great basketball, but that's why when you had the bubble and everybody had all that time off and the Lakers ended up winning it, a lot of people thought they never would have played the Heat in the finals, obviously, but would never have won it without having been in the bubble. And the teams had some time to rest from when they ended the season in March before they picked it back up over the summer in the bubble. And that was, of course, 2020. But yeah, the Heat had a 19-0 run, man. That's their longest scoring run of the season. In the first quarter, they still weren't shooting super well, but the Bulls shot 28% in the first quarter. They were stuck on 11 points for over 5 minutes, and they were stuck on 13 for 3 minutes after that. So you could tell what a quarter that was for the Bulls. And they only scored 20 in the second quarter. The Heat were miserable in that quarter. Otherwise, they would have, if it weren't for Duncan Robinson hitting a couple of threes in the second, they would have been in some deep trouble. DeMar DeRozan was keeping the Bulls in the game in the second quarter. They played terrible offensively, the Bulls did, and they were still only down 10 at halftime, and they were lingering, right, in the third quarter. They were lingering. It was 47-37 Miami at halftime. The Bulls were lingering, and then what ended up happening, right? After a 37-point first half, they come out in the third quarter. They try to get it going. They cut the lead down to 6. They're getting close, and then all of a sudden, Jaquez with a big spark. He had 10 points in the first quarter, but a couple of big buckets in the third as well. And then when you move forward to the third quarter, the Heat just started shooting a little bit better, starting to pull away. Herro then gave Martin back-to-back threes. Herro hit that baseline jumper. If you guys were watching, he's behind the backboard on the baseline, shoots it up and over the backboard, comes down like a Larry Bird shot, and then he just got really hot after that. Then there was the Jaquez dunk at 7:35, pushed it back to a 10-point game. And from there, Herro with a behind-the-back dish to Martin in the corner for a 3, and Gabe knocked that in. And, Bam Adebayo hit a 3. It was just his 16th of the year, 24th of his career. And, you think about what the Heat have been able to do. It's incredible, man. It's the culture. It's the energy. It's the tenacity. It's the defense. And it's different players stepping up all the time. Guys, they get off the garbage heap, come in and really perform for Miami. And I know they're very proud of that. That's something that, the Heat really, that's one of their calling cards under Pat Riley, is that real underdog type of dude who just rolls up his sleeves and gets to work, and you think about Rafer Alston back in the day. You think about John Starks with the Knicks, Kurt Rambis with the Lakers. Riley loves those guys. Loves them. The Martins of the world, right? Playing for the Heat right now. And it's not always just the stars, right? It's the Gabe Martins. It's the Highsmiths. It's the Wrights. It's the Jaquez. I mean, just these guys who come in and bust their butts and work hard. And, you're going into the fourth quarter with a 22-point lead, and it was over at that point. So the Miami Heat put them away in the third quarter with some big shots from Herro and some really good play overall by him. A couple steals in there as well. Points coming off turnovers. Kevin Love, the crowd starts chanting, "We want Boston," and the Miami Heat gave them their wish. They will take on the Boston Celtics, and that will be starting on Sunday. More on that in just a couple of minutes. I want to thank you for making Locked On Miami and Locked On Heat POSTCAST your first listen every single day. We are free and available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube, of course, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Locked On. I'm Jim Greasehaber. Of course, call me Grease. This is Locked On Miami Heat POSTCAST here on your Locked On Miami YouTube channel. And of course, wherever you listen to your podcast, we'll be here after every game in the MIA in the 305, baby. What a city, Miami, without a doubt. And it's lit tonight with Miami Heat, that big win. There's nothing like a Heat playoff game. And I know it's a play-in game, and it's a little bit of a fair weather town, but I digress. Miami is still live for every big Heat game, and so many memories and nights of my life spent in the old Miami Arena and in the new one at the Kaseya Center now. And I mean, those Shaq Wade runs, the Morning Hardaway teams. When Riley first got there, I was covering the team as a senior in college at the U, and man, just an incredible run. Who would have ever thought? Well, you would have thought, actually, when he came in, that this would end up happening for the Miami Heat. I'm Jim Gries, Gries. You see the social media handle down there. I'm going to step aside here and give you a quick break from the content, let you know about a couple of things we got going on here at the network and with our sponsors still to come here on the show. More on Tyler Herro playing hero ball tonight and how he's such a key for Miami. Got the big contract, missed a bunch of time with the foot injury this year, and he is a huge key in that series against the Celtics and all their stars and great defenders. And it's easy for him to get swallowed up in the paint against those guys. Had a few balls ripped away from him tonight, so we'll see how that goes as well. And then more on Jaquez and Love and who can step up against the Celtics, right, and play great basketball. They're going to need some guys to do it night in and night out. It's going to have to be different guys every single night because that's what it is, a chess match back and forth. And with Spo and with this team, you know, I'm not going to say that the Heat are going to beat the Celtics, but I know that they will give Boston a run for their money competitively. The Celtics aren't going to have an easy time of it in this series whatsoever, and you guys know that, right? So without a doubt, the Miami Heat have sent a message to the Boston Celtics and anybody else that they're going to play. Hey, we're coming. We're still here. We might not have Jimmy B, but we are still here. And how many times have you seen a team without a star making a run in the postseason? And after that, they come back the next year and just kill everyone. So Miami is in a decent position. Obviously, you'd rather have Jimmy Butler. He's out for what they say will be a few weeks. So pretty much no chance he's going to play in the Celtics series. Maybe, possibly middle toward the end of round 2, but looking more like the conference finals. On the flip side, if they can make it without him, it'd be an incredible run. If they do, then you'd get a fresh Jimmy Buckets back in time for the Eastern Conference Finals. This is Locked On Miami Heat Postcast. I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, Gries 11291. The Heat destroy the Chicago Bulls tonight in the MIA and move on to the NBA playoffs. They're the 8th seed. They play the Celtics starting on Sunday, and you guys know we cannot wait for that one right here. It is going to be absolutely phenomenal, man. Absolutely phenomenal. Cannot wait for that one. And I am literally so pumped and excited for that. And you guys know what that one is all about. It's Locked On Miami Heat Postcast powered by FanDuel. Playoff time, the NBA and NHL, baseball in full swing. FanDuel is your place to bet on every game. New customers, $150 in bonus bets guaranteed. $150 win or lose. Bet on everything. Slap shots to home runs to slam dunks and more. All on an app that is safe, secure, and easy to use. What are you waiting for, man? Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn, FanDuel.com/LockedOn, and make your first bet an automatic win. FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook, and you know this, man. No doubt about that. That's Chris Tucker from, I believe it's Rush Hour. Might be Friday. You get your movies mixed up after a while. Anyway, I am pumped to tell you right now that Locked On Miami Heat Postcast heading into the playoffs is brought to you in part by Yahoo Finance. Yahoo Finance is a big part of what we're doing here at the Locked On Sports Network. Man, Yahoo Finance, a big sponsor, proud sponsor of us here at Locked On. Wouldn't it be great if you could see all of your investment and retirement accounts in one place? Well, with Yahoo Finance, you can consolidate your views from multiple accounts and into one hub and access the expert analysis you need to tend to your entire portfolio with confidence. Let's get straight to the point, right? You want to grow your portfolio to deal with the rising cost of inflation, pay off your debt, maybe your mortgage even, right? Get really ambitious. Pretty much anything standing in the way of you and your financial freedom, right? With Yahoo Finance, you can get access to the news, data, and tools that you need in order to help you do all that and more to reach that financial freedom. That's what we all want, right? In the US of A, this beautiful country, we want that financial freedom. When it comes to your financial future, you think you've done it all. You've saved, you've researched, you've invested all that you can. Now what? Well, now you need to take those investments to the next level by using, this is the key right here. Take those investments to the next level by using what every financial great uses, Yahoo Finance. For more than 25 years, right? Think about that. For more than 25 years, Yahoo Finance has been the brand behind every great investor. Whether you're a seasoned investor or you're looking for that extra guidance, Yahoo Finance gives you all the tools and data you need in one place. They are the #1 finance destination, producing a holistic look at the financial news cycle and including breaking news, original editorial, perspectives, analyst ratings, independent research, and more. Securely link your brokerage accounts for a unified view of your wealth, including 401k and other investments. A comprehensive perspective is what sets apart great investors, and it's how Yahoo Finance ensures you have the insight to look at your wealth in its entirety. They have over 90 million users each month. It's helping you on your way to financial success. For a comprehensive financial news and analysis, visit the brand behind every great investor, yahoofinance.com. The #1 financial destination, yahoofinance.com. That is yahoofinance.com. And I've already done it once, but I'm going to do it again because I love them so much, and you should too. What a place. It's that time of year, right? FanDuel. You know where I'm going with this. Ladies and gentlemen, playoff time, NBA, playoff time, NHL, Major League Baseball, full swing ahead. Oh, maybe not the Marlins, but maybe they'll get going. We'll see, right? Well, anyway, yeah, it's not football season yet, we know, but there's all kinds of things going on for you to get the action. Boxing, the UFC, you name it. And right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed from FanDuel. That's right, $150 win or lose. Bet on everything, slap shots to home runs to slam dunks, all on an app that's safe, secure, and easy to use. What are you waiting for, my friend? Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and make your first bet an automatic win. FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. All right, Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. Locked On Heat postcast on your Locked On Miami YouTube channel. Anywhere you listen to your podcast, that's right, we are live immediately after every Miami Heat playoff game on this run this year, however long that lasts, starting in Boston on Sunday. Every Marlins game, every Dolphins game, and every University of Miami football game, we will be here live for you as we roll out this huge initiative this year with Locked On, the postcast across America. And what a great network. Locked On, the #1 podcast network in the country, and just growing more and more every day. I'm Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease. You see it on the screen at Jim Grease _ at Cage Side Grease. Yeah, I cover the UFC too as well. And man, I'll tell you what, I'm pumped though. I've spent so many nights in those arenas, Miami Arena and now the Kaseya Center. And I've spent so many nights just watching this Miami Heat franchise. It's excellence, right? I mean, nights when they're the underdogs, nights when they don't have their stars, nights when they have to scratch and claw and roll up the T-shirts like Pat Riley used to do in Schenectady, New York as a teenager when he was knocking dudes out with that famous grit and that toughness that Riles is known for, just creating that Heat culture. I remember when Eric Spoelstra was working in the video room. I was an intern on a TV show called Sunday Night Sports Wrap. Maybe you guys remember the show. Jim Mandis, Jeff DeForest on a Sunday night. I remember one Sunday night we had Gary Sheffield, John Van Beesbrook, and Dan Marino in studio live in Miami Lakes on a Sunday night. Only the Mad Dog, shout out to Jim Mandich, could pull that off. And man, I'll tell you what, when you think about the Miami Heat's history and what Pat Riley has done for that franchise and what he's done for guys like the Van Gundy brothers, Spo in the video room. Are you kidding me? Who else goes from the video room to being an NBA head coach? Pat Riley creates greatness by just touching people. If you've been lucky enough to be touched by Pat Riley, and I don't mean physically touched, I mean touching your life, then you're just lucky because Pat Riley creates greatness, and he has done that with the Miami Heat. We got a little less than 10 minutes left in the show, and I want to get into a little bit of Tyler Herro's game, right, and what he was able to do tonight. Yeah, he had some balls ripped from him. Yeah, he had some turnovers and some bad missed shots and just some plays that make you shake your head a little bit. The dude signs a huge contract. Two guards, the most important position in the NBA. The 2 and the 3 are where all the scoring, the athleticism, everything is coming from those places for the most part these days. And so if you don't have a great 2, you could be in big trouble. And now you have Boston, right? And you got Tatum, and you got Brown, and you got Drew Holiday, and you got Porzingis outside. So Porzingis against Bam is going to be a hell of a matchup. Al Horford hits his shots. The Celtics are almost unbeatable. But Tyler Herro is a huge key in this series. When he gets hot, hitting shots from behind the backboard, deep threes, gets himself in rhythm. He can shoot the Heat back into any game and shoot any other team right out of the building. He has that capability. He has the ability to go on offense and take over a game. He's very good defensively too, kind of like deceivingly, right? With deflections, tip ball, stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. He's not going to be confused with a defensive stopper anytime, but this dude can ball out, and he's just so inconsistent. There are nights like 9 for 27 in Philly the other night, and they could have used about 3 more makes and they wouldn't have been playing tonight. And so, you get the Celtics now instead of the Knicks. And yeah, the Knicks were ripe for an upset. And I don't think Philly's going to beat the Knicks. If you watch the way Joel Embiid's limping up and down the floor the other night, that was absolutely hard to watch. I mean, 82 games, a long season. Now you have to play 65 or more to be eligible for those all NBA teams. And so many players have contractual bonuses tied into those teams. And man, it's just, and I know why they're doing it, but it's brutal for a guy like Embiid, who's running up and down at 7 feet plus, 300 pounds plus on that body every night. And, Shaq did it for years, and and Kobe was famous for ripping on Shaq for not working out more, but that weight coming up and down the floor every night, man, night in and night out, on those knees, on those hips, on that body, on those ankles, the feet. But whew, man, I swear to you, I think about Tyler Herro, man, and he is absolutely the key to this Heat playoff run. The Celtics are not scared of Jaquez, of Kevin Love, of any of these other guys. Herro's going to have a big game every night. Who are the Heat going to go to for a bucket in crunch time against the Celtics and their lockdown defenders? Who's going to score those points when they need them, when Jimmy Butler would always do it, right? And keep them in games, get that timely steal and the dunk and that leadership on the floor. Tyler Herro has to play out of his mind in this series for the Heat to have any kind of a chance. He's got to put everything behind him, go into that series with the mentality and the mindset of a killer, of an assassin, of someone who's coming into this series to lay waste to their opponent, to scatter bodies across the battleground, because that is what it's going to take for the Miami Heat to move on. Bam Adebayo has to dominate in this series, but he's only so much of an offensive threat. When Bam dominates, it's defense, it's rebounds, it's things like that, blocks, altering shots in the paint all night long, and you need that against the Celtics as much as they penetrate. And when the Celtics shoot cold, as they did in the playoffs last year against Miami in so many of those games, when their jumpers aren't dropping, Porzingis is cold, Tatum's cold, Brown's cold. If they're all cold on the same night, forget it. But if 2 of them are cold, you can get the Celtics any night. And I think the Heat have a really good shot in this series. But Tyler Herro has got to play one. He's got to play one. He's got to bring his A game. He's got to play better than he's ever played. He's got to play better than he's ever played in this series for the Heat to have a shot, not for the Heat to win, for the Heat to have a shot. Bam Adebayo has to play at the highest of levels for the Heat to have a shot. And then you need those bench guys. You're going to need Kevin Love to play a lot more minutes and contribute like he did tonight on that old body. I mean, can it be done? Yes. It's a tough go. It's a tough go for the Miami Heat right now. It really is. When you think about it, man, it is, moving toward that series with Boston, and you think about what they bring to the table, and we'll wrap up talking about that in just a minute. But what a tall task for the Miami Heat, depleted. I don't know about Terry Rozier yet, former Celtic, of course, and that's going to be a really big, I think he knows that Boston team really well, played there. And I think that, securing the 8th seed is one thing, but to upset a team like Boston 2 years in a row when they want blood, they want revenge after last year. I mean, Spoelstra said after the game, hey, I have an appreciation for the things you can't buy, the things that you have to earn. We had to earn this. You can't influence it. You can't pay money for it. You actually have to collectively come together to earn it, and we had to do it the hard way just to get this first ticket punch for the invitation to this dance. There you go. And that's what they did. They brought the Heat culture, the toughness. That's what Jaquez said. And, of course, the Heat and Celtics will get it going on Sunday, back into the playoffs. And, of course, Boston won 64 games, and the Heat beat them last year. And, man, they're not going to miss 15 out of 16 shots very often like the Bulls did in one stretch tonight. So that game is going to be on Sunday. I'm looking for it right now. They're going to be a huge underdog. Obviously, they're going to be a huge underdog against Boston in that series. And, of course, that would be the case, and you're not going to go into that series against a team that won 64 games. I mean, they're so different with Holiday and Porzingis. They are not they're not the same team, obviously. They don't have Marcus Smart anymore. And you got Holiday, who was the point guard for the Bucks and a great defender, offensive scorer when he needs to be. Tatum, one of the top players, 3 to 5 players in the league, if you ask me. Brown, one of the top 10 to 15 players in the league. And Porzingis, a great shooting big who can light it up any night. And that is going to be something to see. Miami and Boston will play at, we'll see if that is, that's 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on Sunday. So right after that game, we'll be live here on the Locked On Miami YouTube and wherever you listen to your podcasts. I'm running behind. My name's Jim Greashopper. Call me Grease. Second show almost in the books. We're getting the hang of it here on Locked On Heat Postcast. Of course, we'll do the Marlins, Dolphins, University of Miami football as well. And we are going to wrap it up in just a minute on this show. But before we do, we got a couple more breaks to take here for you. And that would be the first thing I'm going to tell you about as we continue with the show. It is going to be, and how great is LinkedIn? LinkedIn's amazing when you're on LinkedIn and you get to see all those professionals on there and you get to network and look for jobs. And there you have it. LinkedIn jobs right there. And let's see, we are, like I said, we're getting the hang of this one step at a time. And where did you go? Just as I'm saying that, of course, live with a camera in your face and no life raft, but that's okay. We sign up for this. We love these things, right? That's why we're here. We absolutely love it. When you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out. I love pop-ups in the middle of a live read. You have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. That's right, man. It's unbelievable when you think about what LinkedIn's done. I've found jobs on there. My friends have found jobs on there. It's just an unbelievable resource the world has now. And, you know, LinkedIn isn't just a job board. It helps you hire professionals you can't find anywhere else, even those who aren't actively searching for a new job but might be open to the perfect role. In a given month, over 70% of LinkedIn users don't visit other leading job sites. So if you're not looking on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. You're not going to find anyone, right? On LinkedIn, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Hire professionals like a professional on LinkedIn. They know that small businesses are wearing so many hats and might not have the time or resources to hire. They're constantly finding ways to make the process easier. They even just launched a feature that helps you write job descriptions, making the process even easier and quicker. 2.5 million small businesses use LinkedIn for hiring. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. All right. There we are. We're just about at the end of another show. So what I'm going to do here is I got all the ads in. How about that? Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube, and now it's also available on Amazon Fire TV and the free Fire TV channels app. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. Find Locked On Sports Today, now available on the free Fire TV channels app, and what a show that is. Can't get enough of that right there, 24/7. I'll be a part of that, I'm sure, at some point in the future as well. Brand new here at Locked On. Locked On POSTCAST, the new initiative this year. You're not going to want to miss it. And I'll tell you what, it is unreal what this network has done and how it's growing. David Locke, thank you. What a great opportunity for all of us to keep our fans around the world. And I don't mean our fans, I mean the fans of our teams, to keep people in the loop, just like we're doing right here with Locked On Heat. The Heat and the Celtics Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. So around 3:30 we'll be here. And of course, the Marlins play the Cubs on Sunday as well. So we'll have 2 shows for you on Sunday, 2 Marlins shows tomorrow as they play a split doubleheader in Chicago. It'll be our first 2 Marlins shows that I'll do, and we'll be here every day. And so I'm excited for that right here on Locked On Miami. Wherever you get your podcasts, it's your Locked On POSTCAST. And it's Locked On Heat tonight. 112-91, Miami beats the Chicago Bulls at home. They move on to the NBA playoffs first round against the Boston Celtics. Starts Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern in Beantown, best of 7, of course. And we don't even want to talk about if they should move on from that series. We have all kinds of time to do that. Want to really thank you, though, for being here. The great fans in the 305 and beyond, Heat fans all over the world, really pumped. You're a great group of fans for a tremendous organization, and I'm so happy to be here and be your postcast host for the Miami Heat. It's going to wrap it up for now. Of course, we'll be back Sunday after Game 1, your Miami Heat postcast. 112-91, the Heat with the win, and they move on to the NBA playoffs. And we will be back, as I said, on Sunday. Until then, sports fans, Heat fans, keep your game tight and your mind right. Till next time, I'm Jim Grease. See ya.